Good morning. Yeah, we got that cup just right so you can see the Rodney. Jeff, I can't promise that I'm going to be wearing your shirt all day. It's painting day. Mind you, the deck tan, which we're going to be talking about in a minute here, because I took a close look at it and I'm a little bit worried. Anyway, is pretty much the same color as your shirt. So if I have to wipe my hands on your shirt, maybe it won't show up anyway. I'll just have to be careful not to wipe my fingers in, in front of the picture here. I won't do that. Okay, now, what do we got going on here today? No sunrise. But I don't think you can see it, but right there, the for sale sign is gone. Yeah, the neighbor's house across the street is sold. Guy came by yesterday and picked up the sign. And it had a sold thing attached to it. I thought I saw something waving in the wind there yesterday that looked like it was a sold sign, but it was. So we're going to be getting new neighbors. That'll be interesting. It's always interesting to see new neighbors coming to the neighborhood. And, what are they going to be like? We sure have good ones now. Anyway, I was looking at this deck here, and I was noticing that the planking seems to stop right about here, and this bow section is some sort of plate. So I don't think there's any use spraying from here ahead, is there? Because it's gonna, it's gonna be something else. We'll just have another coat of paint on there that we don't need. I don't know if I should try and mask these little parts off, or maybe just let them get painted with deck tan, and then mask them later and paint whatever we're going to paint. Probably the 66. I don't know. Anyway, it does appear though that most of the rest of the deck is planking right to the very stern. Okay, let's sort of recompose here a bit. I want to show you this paint that I bought from Eliminator here the other day. It almost looks like it's really old or something, but maybe that's the way they all are, and I just never noticed before. Okay, I don't think we need to put the macro lens on here. I think we're probably enlarged enough. And I've removed most of the label off of this so we can see in the side. Now, the fact that the pigment has sort of settled to one side, I can imagine that this seems to me that when I got this jar out of the paint case, it was a bit on its side. Now that doesn't bother me, but what I'm wondering about is, you notice along the top here, it almost appears that some of the paint has dried. I'm kind of wondering, does that mean that when I shake this up now, I'm going to have chunks of dried paint maybe floating around in there? I don't know. It's yeah, I'm pretty sure that that these ones were on the side. Not all of them were straight up and down on the rack like this. Some of them were at about like a 45-degree angle, and this is obviously one of those. So okay, so let's go and shake it up now and see what we got. Okay, I've already loosened the lid on this, but I have not taken it off. And somebody's going to say, oh, I see this over here. This is from who knows how many months ago. I thought maybe I'll just take a look at this before we actually shake it up. Does it look chunky? No, I think it's probably okay. I was expecting that possibly. All right, Ron, stop worrying about it. You're probably just looking for excuses not to have to paint. That's what this is all about, isn't it? Come on, be honest. You like to be honest in your videos? Be honest. Okay, that's probably part of it. Okay, let's go shake that up. I'm gonna thin it down with the thinner until it gets to about here. Yeah, so it's probably pretty. It'll be pretty close to 30% or better. At least that's the plan. I should check the bottom of this thing. How's that look? Oh, that looks all right. The cap came off fairly easily, so it's not like it was encrusted or anything like that. So maybe my fears are unfounded, as they say. Now it is turning out to be a really nice day out there, and one more sleep and I can turn on my Christmas lights. These things were laying over there face up for quite a while, and I'm sure they're pretty dusty. I'm sure there's a much more awkward way I could do this. I didn't want that roll of tape anyway. Okay, so right now we're set at about 18 pounds when I squeeze the trigger. We'll try that and see how that goes. I'll just recompose. I'm going to put you right here. Okay, I do believe I have stalled around as much as I can here. The only thing I can think of left to do that I could possibly do so I don't have to paint is go out and shovel snow. And I think I'd sooner paint than shovel snow. So actually we don't have that much shoveling to do today. It did snow a bit last night. You know, I didn't shake this up just before I took that lid off. Now sometimes I have mixed feelings about shaking it up just before I pour it into the airbrush, because if there's chunks, you know, they're not getting a chance to settle to the bottom. Now maybe that's sort of just my own idea and it's not real. Okay, I'm going to just put a little bit of thinner, just a few drops here. Okay, that was 3 drops in the airbrush and 1 drop on this thing. Let's see what they're going to look like. It's going to spray. Doesn't sound right. I'm getting backflush. Everything's tight. Oh, gee whiz. Okay, I'm going to push stop here for a minute and figure out what's wrong. Okay, I have changed back, to my 0.3 millimeter nozzle and needle. Starting to run out of time here. Well, we've got 12:21 already. All right, let's see what's going to happen here now. Well, that's 20 pounds. That should go. Well, let's just for the fun of it, let's just increase it here. There's got to be something wrong in there. Now, I'm not deliberately doing this. I know you're all going to be thinking, hey, he just doesn't want to paint. He probably drove his car over this thing, so it's not going to work. No, I want it to work. Yeah, there's enough in there. I can actually, I can see it down there. And I did tighten it up. For those of you who are wondering, I tightened this up. I don't know. It's just... Well, I wonder if I've somehow damaged my nozzle. Okay, this is my 0.5 millimeter nozzle. It looks good. And the reason I'm checking it is because I took my 0.3 out. And when I'm looking at it, I am seeing damage. In fact, there it is. It's looking right at you. I'll put the macro lens on so we can see it better. Yeah, it's not dirt. It's like, I know there was one time that I couldn't get it out of the body and I used a pair of pliers, but I thought I'd use the pair of pliers very gently, but of course this being brass. But I've used it since then. I mean, that was like a year ago that happened. Let's put the macro lens on. Okay. Now this is the 0.3 millimeter. This is my old one, and I can see where. You see that what I think I saw this before, but I wasn't too worried about it because. Okay, you can see it on the other side too, where it clamped on here, and then 90 degree or 180 degrees around on the other side. Except that. I didn't think that the seal happened right here where this was. Now maybe it does. I know that it's. Let's see if we can find something to point with a little bit better. Here we go, Mr. T's pointing device. Okay, now the seal where it goes against the body is right there. That's where it makes its airtight connection right there, and I had thought that the other seal was back here, and this was inconsequential, if you know what I mean. But maybe it's consequential. But then why did it work before? It shouldn't have worked at all then. Like what is it? Is it the humidity? Because the humidity is so low in the house today? That doesn't make any sense. This doesn't make any sense at all. Airbrushes. We have this love-hate relationship with them. Okay, I'm going to put my 0.5 millimeter back on, which is this one right here. It's in good shape. Let's get this out of the way here. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with this one. Well, there's a little scratch there, though, isn't there? Yeah. Yeah. Okay, I was reassembling my airbrush here with a 0.5 millimeter nozzle. I don't know why I didn't notice this before, but when I was assembling it, I was noticing how it looks like it's got gray paint on it. Now I left the needle in there so that you can just see it. Yeah, I'm just sort of turning it from the back side here. It seems to be nice and true. It's not like it's wobbling or anything like that. Yeah, it seems to be okay. I'm just going to back it off here. Now, I took one of Gabe's plastic things here. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this nozzle and I'm going to soak it in the Iwata airbrush cleaner stuff and see if I can't get that off of there. Unless that's no, I'm pretty sure that's paint. Yeah, let's just clean that up. I think we're going to have to forget about spraying today, and I'm genuinely feeling bad about that because I had thought my decks would be done by tonight. Now, one of the viewers had mentioned how when he looked at the end of his needle, he was able to see paint on there that he didn't realize was there. Now, I have since cleaned the end of my needle just a few minutes ago, and I'm actually looking at both of them at the same time. I'm just rolling them back and forth here. And on the 0.5 millimeter one, I can see where it has seated up at the end of the nozzle. You know, there's a bit of discoloration there, but there's no paint or anything like that. Now, as for the nozzles themselves, okay, I'm looking closely now at the one that had the paint on it. I used the ultrasonic cleaner, by the way, and I've said this probably 100 times in the last few years. I wish I could show you what I was seeing right now. It is so crystal clear. It's like this thing has been enlarged about 100 times or something and is sitting on the model table. Well, not 100 times, but yeah, I can see where maybe that little indentation that I did with the plier may possibly have. Yeah, I can see that in all likelihood it happened at a bad spot there, and that could be why we're getting the back flushing going on. Now, this one here, I'm looking at the 0.5 millimeter now. It's in pretty nice shape. There's nothing wrong with it. I'm gonna put it back in. I did clean everything out. The only paint I saw was what I showed you on that other nozzle. At first I thought the other nozzle was the 0.5, but when I put on my strong glasses I realized that I wasn't looking too good. I don't look too good. Okay, let's recompose here somehow. Okay, we're all back together now with the 0.5 millimeter nozzle and needle, and we'll put in some isopropyl. If it won't spray pure isopropyl, it for sure won't spray anything else. All right, let's give her a whirl here. I've got the regulator set to 20 pounds, and I don't think I need to turn the fan on. So here we go. We'll get the air flowing, and then I'm going to slowly pull back on the trigger. You know, I've put this thing together 100 times. I'm sure I've done it right. Let me lower the pressure a bit here. Okay, try the back flush thing. Okay, I'm going to increase my pressure until I see something coming out. Well, when I lower the pressure, I don't know. I just don't know. You know, brushing this whole dang thing by hand starting to look really, really good. I'll tell you, you know. I can't be, like I've said before, I can't be the only person building these big 200 scale models and not having an airbrush. You know, it's... Do I sound frustrated? Well, that's probably because I'm a little bit frustrated. Thanks for watching, everybody. And oh, I know what I was going to mention. One of the viewers asked me, what scale is that metal ship that we were looking at there? And I don't know what scale it is, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure it this evening, and we'll figure it out. At least I know how to do that. Okay, once again, thanks for watching, everybody. And all being well, we'll be seeing you tomorrow.